Hello everyone, I'm Needu, your English teacher. I hope you all are healthy and happy at home. And today we are starting a new chapter named The Little Girl. It's a story of a little girl named Kezia. The theme of the story is the relationship between children and parents. When we are small and young, many of us don't feel that our parents love them because we may see them as strict and many of the actions done by them can't be justified. But as we grow up, we realize that all the acts done by our parents were our own benefit. The parents were concerned for us, and beneath the strictness lies the heart full of love for us. And this bond of love between parents and children has been highlighted in this story named The Little Girl. The story The Little Girl is written by Catherine Mansfield. This story about a little girl whose feelings of her father change from fear to understanding will probably find an echo in every home. What's the meaning of will probably find an echo in every home? This means that all the children, majority of the children will feel the same way. Okay, let's discover what's there in this chapter and we can go through each and every line in detail. And this is how our chapter begins. To the little girl, he was a figure to fear and avoided. Can you say who is the little girl here? Yes, Kezia. And who is he? Yes, Kezia's father. So here in this first line it is said that girl is always avoiding her father. To the little girl he was figure to fear and avoided. Because what's the reason why she avoids her father? Yes, she was very much afraid of her. Okay, so that's why she always avoided her father. Kezia always avoided her father because she was that much afraid of him. Look at the next line. Every morning before going to work, he came into her room and gave her a casual kiss, to which she responded with goodbye, father. So every morning before going to work, Kezia's father would visit her in her room and give her a kiss. And in reply, what Kezia would say? Goodbye, father. So this action of Kezia's father shows his love for Kezia. Next. And there was a glad sense of relief when she heard the noise of the carriage growing fainter and fainter down the local road. Fainter and fainter means lessened or reduced. So, carriage here means maybe the vehicle which he used. So there was a glad sense. Glad means glad sense of relief. Relief means feeling relaxed. She becomes happy. Okay, when she becomes happy, when she heard the noise of the carriage, noise of the vehicle growing fainter and fainter, the vehicle's voice will be or noise will be reduced. At that time, she'll become relieved. Okay, the writer says that when Kezia heard that her father's carriage was going away from home, he was leaving home, isn't it? And the sound became fainter and fainter. That means the sound reduced, and Kezia would become relaxed. Then, in the evening, when he came home, she stood near the staircase and heard his loud voice in the hall. After returning in the evenings, when Kezia's father would return home, she would hear his loud voice. His loud voice made her afraid of him. Then, bring me tea into the drawing room. Hasn't the paper come yet? Mother, go and see if my paper's out there and bring me my slippers. Who is saying all this? Can you say? Yes, Kezia's father. What are things he orders? Bring my tea into the drawing room. He wants tea. Hasn't the paper come yet? He wants newspaper. Mother, go and see if my paper's out there. Yes, he wants a newspaper, so he would ask his mother to go and see if the newspaper was out there outside the house. Then, bring me my slippers. He would also ask her to get him his slippers. So this is how father will shout in the evening. Kezia, mother would call to her. If you are a good girl, you can come down and take off father's boots. So at this time, Kezia's mother would call Kezia and ask her to remove her father's boots. In order to make her obey, she would say that if she was a good girl, then surely she would obey her command. Kezia is a good girl. So what she does? Look at the next line. Slowly, the girl would slip down the stairs more slowly, still across the hall, and push open the drawing room door. Slip down means come down quietly, really unwillingly. Okay, so again we see Kezia's fear of her father. That's why she would come down the stairs very quietly, unwillingly. She did not want to face her father. She feared him. Okay, so as she is a good girl, she is coming down and taking off the boots. By that time, he had his spectacles on and looked at her over them in a way that was terrifying to the little girl. Okay, what father will do at that time? He will wear his spectacles and will look at Kezia, or looked at her over that spectacles, and that terrified this little girl Kezia again. That made that staring of father made her horrified again, terrified again. Okay. Well, Kezia, hurry up and pull off these boots and take them outside. Have you been a good girl today? So, who is saying this? Father, yes. Kezia unwillingly is going and removing the boots, isn't it? So at this time, father is asking her, Kezia, hurry up and pull off these boots and take them outside. And he added one more thing. What's the thing he asked? Have you been a good girl today? If she had been a good girl that day, he asked. What's the answer she gives? I don't know, father. Kezia replied that she don't know. She's really stammering because she was not confident. Really, that fear inside her made her stammer at that moment. Okay. So father is mocking. Look at the next line. Why did you don't know? If you stutter like that, mother will have to take you to a doctor. Stutter means stammering. Stammering means speaking with pauses in between. Okay. So here, Kezia's father is mimicking her voice and mocking at her, and he also stammers like she did, and he says to her that if she stuttered like that, if she stammered like that, if she make that pausing in between her speech, then her mother would take her to a doctor for a checkup. Okay, so now look at the next line. She never stuttered with other people, had quite given it up, but only with father, because then she was trying so hard to say the words properly. Really, she never stuttered with other people. She never stuttered while she talked with other people. But only while she talked with her father, such things happening. Okay. She's trying so hard, making a lot of effort not to do that, but it happens. So here, the writer tells us that Kezia never stammered. Okay. Look at the next line. What's the matter? Why are you looking so wretched about, mother? I wish you taught this child not to appear on the brink of suicide. Here, Kezia, carry up my teacup back to the table carefully. Wretched means unhappy. Okay. On the brink of suicide means about to commit suicide. Suicide, killing oneself, isn't it? Now, Kezia's father look at her. He feels that something's wrong with her. So he asked her why she is so unhappy, and he tells the mother that she should teach Kezia how to behave in a better way, and she should not appear as if she is so unhappy that she is about to end her life. Okay, so she looks like a girl who is going to commit suicide. In such a way she looks. And he wants to say that Kezia seems to be so happy at every time. Okay, by saying this, he hands the teacup to her and asks her to place it back on the table. He was so big. His hands and his neck, especially his mouth when he yawned, thinking about him alone was like thinking about a giant. Here, this is a feeling, this is a vision that Kezia has for her father. She feels that her father was so big, was just like a giant. And Kezia felt that his hands, his neck, his mouth, all were so huge, especially when he yawned. It seemed he was a huge monster, huge giant. Whenever Kezia thought about her father, she felt that she was thinking about a giant. Okay. Next. On Sunday afternoons, grandmother sent her down to the drawing room to have a nice talk with father and mother. So every Sunday during the afternoon, Kezia's grandmother sent Kezia downstairs to a drawing room in order to spend time with her parents. So Kezia was supposed to behave in a nice and decent way in front of her parents. Okay, and they had a formal get together there. Okay, so always Kezia's grandmother sent her near her parents. But the little girl always found mother reading and father stretched out on the sofa, his handkerchief on his face, his feet on one of the best cushions, sleeping soundly and snoring. So here we feel that Casey is a bit nervous. Okay, when she comes down to talk with her father or talk with her parents, what's the scene she sees? The mother busy reading, father busy sleeping, snoring. So that's the image of her parents in her mind. They did not talk to her much. Okay, they didn't spend time with her. On the other hand, they were busy doing their own things. She sat on a stool, gravely watching him until he walked and stretched and asked the time. Then he looked at her. Gravely means seriously. So at that time, what Kezia will do, Kezia would sit on a stool and watch him carefully till he wake up, and he will after waking up he will ask for the time. Okay, don't stare so, Kezia. You look like a little brown owl. Kezia's father would compare Kezia to a little brown owl. He would say that Kezia was staring at him just like an owl does. One day, so this is how the things were going on. One day, when she was kept indoors with a cold, her grandmother told her that father's birthday was next week and suggested she should make him a pin cushion for a gift out of a beautiful piece of yellow silk. Okay, so one day Kezia was not well. She had called. So she was supposed to be there inside home. And on that day, her grandmother suggested that her father's birthday was approaching. Okay, and she should make a birthday present for father. And she asked Kezia to make a pin cushion for him. And she also gave her a yellow colored fabric of silk to make the pin cushion. Laboriously, with a double cotton, the little girl stitched 3 sides. Laboriously means with lot of effort. She's not good in stitching and all, but with much effort, she with double cotton, she stitched 3 sides of that pillow. Then, but what to fill in with? That was a question. Now, Kezia prepared the bag. That means the shape of the cushion is almost done. She had to stitch the 4th side. Before that, she had to fill the cushion with something, and she did not know what to fill the cushion with. Okay. The grandmother was out in the garden and she wandered into mother's bedroom to look for scraps. So wandered, that means walked here and okay. She just went into mother's bedroom and she got some scraps. She really wanted some scraps. Scraps means small pieces of clothes or paper. Okay. On the bed table, she discovered a great many sheets of fine paper, gathered them up, tore them into tiny pieces, and stuffed her case. Then sewed up the 4th side. So from the bed table, she got some sheets of paper. She collected all those, tore it into tiny pieces, and stuffed. That means filled that case, that pillowcase, and stitched up the 4th side. Okay, now the pillow is ready. That cushion is ready. That night, there was a hue and cry in the house. Father's great speech for the Port Authority had been lost. Hue and cry means angry voice, angry protest. On that same night, there was angry shouting from her house. What's the reason? Father's great speech. Father wrote a speech on some pages for the Port Authority, and it's lost. Rooms were searched, servants questioned. Finally, mother came into Kezia's room. Now the complete family searched everywhere. They asked the servants, but no one knew where the sheets of paper had gone. Finally, the mother reached Kezia's room. Kezia, I suppose you didn't see some papers on the table in our room. So Kezia's mother asked her that did she see some papers lying on the table in her mother's room? Okay, she asked. Oh yes, she said, I tore them up for my surprise. Now here we get to see that Casey is such an innocent girl. She did not want to harm anyone. She was just preparing that birthday present for her father. Isn't it? So very truly she told her mother that she found those pieces of paper and she tore them into small pieces and stuffed them into her cushion. And that's a birthday gift that she had prepared for her father. Annoyingly, Casey had done such a great disaster. Okay. What? Screamed mother. Come straight down to the dining room this instant. Now Kezia's mother is so furious, so angry. And when she's taking Kezia down to her father. She orders Kezia to come down to see father at that same moment. And she was dragged down to where father was pacing to and fro, hands behind his back. Now Kezia's father is full of tension, and as one of his important speech has been lost. Okay, that's what Kezia tore into pieces. Now Kezia will be scolded for the mischief she has done. Well, he said sharply. Mother explained. He stopped and stared at the child. Did you do that? No, she whispered. Mother, go up to her room and fetch down the damn thing. See that the child is put to bed this instant. The damn thing means that in an angry tone he says. Okay. Kezia's father is saying to take that cushion down from her room, and she should be locked inside. Crying too much to explain, she lay in the shadowed room, watching the evening light make a sad little pattern on the floor. Shadowed room means that it was dark. There was a light outside the room which was making shadows in the room. Okay, a sad little pattern refers to sad atmosphere in the room. Okay, Kezia wanted to justify her action as she was innocent. Then she did not mean to harm her father. She was just preparing a surprise birthday present for him, and she was so sad. She had been happy that she had prepared a surprise for her father and he would like it. But on the other hand, what happened? She had accidentally committed a big mistake. Then father came into the room with a ruler in his hands. Now he is about to punish Kezia for the wrong action she has done. I'm going to beat you up for this, he said. Oh no, she screamed, hiding under the bedclothes. Bedclothes means the bedsheet. Okay, now Kezia's father told her that he would beat her with that ruler, and Kezia was so scared and she tried to hide herself under the bedsheet. He pulled them aside. Sit up, he ordered, and hold your hands. You must be taught once and for all not to touch what does not belong to you. Here we come to know that why Kezia's father was being strict with her. Why was he punishing her? Because he wanted Kezia to know that this thing, once for all, that she should not touch this kind of important things belonging to him. He wanted to teach her, and it is benefited in her future life too. It will surely be benefiting her. Right now, she is a small child. She did not know what was important, what's unimportant. That's why annoyingly she had torn that important document of her father. So, anyway, Kezia is being punished. Okay. But it was for your birthday. Kezia tried to explain her position. She said that she had been preparing a birthday present for him. Okay, Kezia's father did not listen to any of her excuses. Down came the ruler on her little pink palms. Kezia's father hit the little pink palms with that ruler. Hours later, when grandmother had wrapped her in a shawl and rocked her in the rocking chair, the child clung to her soft body. Clung means attached to something. Okay. Now Casey is so sad. She had got beating. Okay, her father had hit her small little palms with that ruler. And many hours later, her grandmother curled up in a shawl and was trying to console her. Okay, she made her sit in her lap on a rocking chair and she was trying to put Kezia to sleep. Kezia clung to her grandmother. What did God make fathers for? She sobbed. So Casey was still not comfortable. Okay, she was crying and she said that God should not have made fathers. She hated her father that much. She was so innocent. She did not know what's wrong, what's a mistake she had done. She was just preparing a present for him. She was heartbroken as he did not understand her, and said that God should not have made fathers in this world. Here's a clean hanky, darling. Blow your nose. Go to sleep, pet. You'll forget you all about it in the morning. I tried to explain to father, but he was too upset to listen to it. Now, Casey's grandmother was trying to console her. She gave her a handkerchief and to blow her nose and said that to go to sleep. She also said that by morning, Casey would forget about all these things and she'll try to explain all the things to father. Okay. But the child never forgot. Next time she saw him, she quickly put both hands behind her back and a red color flew into her cheeks. But Kezia didn't forget anything. Okay, she got scared whenever she saw her father. Whenever she saw her father, she got scared and she'll keep her hands back. Look at the next. The McDonalds lived next door. They had 5 children. Looking through a gap in the fence, the little girl saw them playing tag in the evening. The father with the baby Mao and on his shoulders, 2 little girls hanging on his coat pockets, ran round and round the flower beds, shaking with laughter. Once she saw the boys turn the hose on him and he tried to catch them, laughing all the time. So here the writer is telling us about Kezia's neighbors. Okay, neighbors were a family named McDonalds. McDonalds had 5 children, and Kezia would peep at them through a hole in the fence, and she would see that family had a lot of fun. They played game like tag. Okay, and all the children along with the father would have a lot of fun. Mr. McDonald, that means father, would make his little baby Mao, name of the baby Mao, sit on his shoulders, and the 2 little daughters that he had, they would hang on his coat pocket. So all the children in that family, all the members in the family were much attached. Okay, they loved him so much. They loved their father very much, and that's why they would stick on him. Then they would run around the garden, around the flower bed. They would laugh out loud. Okay, Kezia would watch all these. And one day she saw that the little sons of Mr. McDonald opened the hose water pipe, okay, on him, and they were having much fun. Okay, she saw all these. Then she decided there were different sorts of father. By saying this, she understood there are different types of fathers in this world. God had made various kinds of fathers. Okay, she understood that all the fathers in the world is not the same. Suddenly, one day, mother became ill. So these other things happened and all the things were going on smooth. And one day, what happened? Mother became ill and she and grandmother went to hospital. That means mother and grandmother went to hospital. The little girl was left alone in the house with Alice, the cook. That was all right in the daytime, but while Alice was putting her to bed, she grew suddenly afraid. Now, Casey was alone at home with the cook. The name of the cook is Alice. Now, during a day, she was okay. It was fine. But at the bedtime, she felt scared. She began to feel scared. What will I do if I have a nightmare? She asked. Nightmare means frightful dream, bad dream. Casey asked Alice that if she had a bad dream, what would she do? She's alone. I often have nightmares and then Granny takes me into her bed. I can't stay in the dark. It's all getting whispery. Okay, so she says, whenever I have nightmares, Granny will take me to her bed, and one thing, I'll hear some whispering sounds at night. It makes me scared. You just go to sleep, child, said Alice, pulling off her socks. And don't you scream and wake your poor pa. So, this Alice said that don't be afraid. She just said her to go to bed. She also is giving one more warning. What's the thing? She warned her not to scream and wake her father. Kezia became really helpless. But the same old nightmare came. The butcher with a knife and a rope, who came nearer and nearer, smiling that dreadful smile, while she could not move, could only stand still, crying out, "Grandma, Grandma!" She walked shivering to see father beside her bed, a candle in his light. Now the thing frightened has happened. Okay, the expected thing has happened. The same nightmare. What was that nightmare she had? She would see a butcher. What's there in his hand? A big knife, and a rope will be there in the hand of that butcher. That's a usual dream she has. She had a dreadful smile, and he had a dreadful smile on his face too. And when once Kezia would see him, she would feel that she was unable to move. She was that much scared of that dreadful that dream. In her sleep, Kezia cried out for help. She called out grandmother, and when she opened her eyes, what's the scene she saw? Kezia's father with a lamp, with a candle in his hand, standing in front of her. "What's the matter?" he asked. "Oh, a butcher, a knife. I want Granny." Kezia was still scared of the nightmare. She was crying out. She was still scared, and she said, "Oh, I want Granny." Now she wanted to go near grandmother. He blew out the candle, bent down, and caught up the child in his arms, carrying her along the passage to the big bedroom. So here we can see the affection that Kezia's father has for her. What he did, he blew the candle off, and he lifted Kezia and from the bed and carried her to his bedroom. A newspaper was on the bed. He put away the paper, then carefully tucked up the child. Tucked up means covered up nicely. So Kezia's father lay her in his bed next to him and covered her with a bed sheet. Okay. He lay down beside her, half asleep, still with the butcher's smile all about her, it seemed. She crept close to him, snuggled her head under his arm, held tightly to his shirt. Snuggled means moved into a warm, comfortable position. Okay. Now Kezia felt her father's affection, father's love, and so she went close to him. She snuggled herself towards her father, and she held his shirt tightly so that she would not feel scared again. Now Kezia had overcome her fear of her father. Then the dark did not matter. She lay still. Now Kezia was not afraid of her father, and she was no longer. She is not seeing her father as a fearful figure. "Here, rub your feet against my legs and get them warm," said father. He asked Kezia to rub her feet against his legs so that they become warm. Tired out, he slept before the little girl. A funny feeling came over her. So, as Kezia's father was very tired, he slept before she did. Before she slept. A funny feeling came to the mind of Kezia. Poor father, not so big, after all, and with no one to look after him. He was harder than grandmother, but it was a nice hardness. And every day he had to work and was too tired to be Mr. MacDonald. She had torn up all his beautiful writing. She stood suddenly and sighed. Now, here Kezia realizes her mistake, and she had that much affection towards her father. She felt that her father was such a poor man. He worked so hard. He was not so big as she found him to be earlier. Now she felt that her father was a very poor man who worked very hard. So that's why he got so tired, and he went off to sleep, and he did not play with me like whom like that neighbor Mr. McDonald. Okay, but Kezia felt that her father's heart was full of love for her. She realized that she has torn up his important document, the speech that he has written. Isn't it? That realization made her give out a deep breath. Okay, she realized that she had been wrong, and that's why her father had beaten her, and she had gone. That's why she had gone. He had gone that much strict with her. What's the matter? Asked her father. Another dream? He is asking her. He heard the sound that Kezia made, and he asked her, "What's the matter?" And was she again watching a bad dream? Oh, said the little girl. My head is on your heart. I can hear it going. What a big heart you have got, father, dear. Kezia replied to her father that she had placed her head on her father's heart and she could hear his heartbeat. She saying to her father that he had a big heart. Kezia is showing her love for her father, and she realized that her father also loved her a lot. Okay. So this is how our chapter ends, and I think that you understood the complete content of the chapter. And the next thing is you should take your textbook and read the complete chapter now itself. And after reading, while you read, you should go through each and every line, each and every word, understand the meaning. Okay. And after reading, if you have any doubts, any word, please contact me. And that's all. Thank you.